First down. Look out. Pressure on. Throws into traffic, but getting away that time is Jonnu Smith, the tight end, after the 45-yard line. Early on, lots of seasons with the Saints. Second down and 17. Tua with a right-handed flip. And taking off and picking up good yardage is Jonnu Smith, the tight end.
This game all of a sudden is a one-possession game if they can get in the end zone.
Blocked by Jackson. Downfield it goes for Jonnu Smith.
But this kid looks like he was created in a lab.
And today, that's not as far-fetched. That pass right near a first down. Jonnu Smith, the tight end, they want to get him a little bit more involved.
The block punt didn't lead to a touchdown or a field goal with the miss.
And this throw right on target. Jonnu Smith.
The ball's going to go.
And he delivers that with a nice block to Jonnu Smith, who gets upfield and out of bounds. Saving time with 46 seconds.
Missing E.J. Speed. He's got a knee injury. A little bit of confusion on the motion, but Huntley makes it work, and he finds Jonnu Smith inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. And now 3rd and goal. Huntley checks it short. Jonnu Smith through the 5 and into the end zone for the touchdown. He picked through all kinds of traffic and found 6 at the end.
When Jonnu Smith gets the football, he starts to head upfield. You're going to have like a line, but there's not enough guys converging, right? So freeze it right there. There's a lot of Colts defenders there.
Is out. And on first down, Jonnu Smith with the toss on a tight end screen and some room to run for Smith. Out of bounds as he gets to the 40-yard line. They'll mark him just across the 40 with an 18-yard gain.
Kaiser White backing off. They will rush 4. The Cardinals will. Tua in the pocket, over the middle. Jonnu Smith right at the line to gain.
Tua through the air, 16-24. The fake. Jackson a block at the right tackle. And he's got his receiver near midfield, 45-yard line, Jonnu Smith.
Missed opportunity for the Bills.
Achane in, 1st and 10. Look, here goes Jonnu Smith. Room to roam. And goes crashing into a couple defenders and hit by Elam.
It's 3rd down and 3. Rams defense is made. 4 straight 3rd down stops. Not here. Jonnu Smith still rolling. Still rolling. Still rolling. And down inside the 1. They have an opportunity. They run a receiver through that gets the linebacker Rosebooms back to Jonnu Smith, but with zone coverage, you'd expect them to be able to complete that pass and then make a play. But Jonnu Smith showing what he can do after the catch.
Achane is behind Tua in the backfield. Jonnu Smith in motion. They go to Smith. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Smythe, the tight end, in motion. Tagovailoa looking to the far side. He throws off his back leg. Middle of the field. Jonnu Smith wide open. He's trying to sprint his way toward the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Dolphins. 57 yards. He was wide open.
Today, he's primarily been up against Tyreek Hill.
Tagovailoa over the middle. Smith taken on tacklers. And he bowls his way in for the Miami touchdown.
Hasn't been over 100 yards since. Getting all the attention to the right and throwing underneath where he left is Jonnu Smith on the reception for a gain of 11. Tua steps up and throws complete. It is Jonnu Smith again, 6th hit every time he's been targeted.
The clock is ticking.
3rd and 1 here. Tua, Jonnu Smith again, first down, and out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
30-17 on Thanksgiving, 2nd down 10. Jonnu Smith, first catch today. There he goes, galloping into the secondary, and finally brought down by Chuck Clark at the 50. 1st and 10, Smith again. Blocked by Lamb. Blocked by Eichenberg. Tackle made by Jalen Mills. A catch and run to the 36, 14-yard pickup. Good time to the end zone. Got it! Smith, touchdown! The Dolphins win!
Jonnu Smith had no catches in regulation. In overtime, 3 catches and the game winner.
Tua. Good time. End zone. Caught. Smith. Touchdown. What a throw. About the only place he could have put it.
Looks like Stingley's matched up on him.
And he goes outside. Caught by Jonnu Smith. He's got the first down, pinballing his way near the 25. What a throw again. And Smith is on the other end.
And what a great individual effort by Smith to be able to spin off of it and get the first down.
2nd and 2.
Float motion.
Wide open. And that's Smith, who's become a favorite around here. What a season he's had.
Yeah,
that's his 71st catch, Tony.
What a great pickup this offseason. That's all that it could technically be. I know it sounds crazy a lot, but I think that's doable. There's a chance.
There's the throw to Jonnu Smith for 11 yards.
1st and 10. Pass perfect. And that's Smith with a stiff arm and chased out of bounds by Fred Warner.
And puts more pressure on the quarterback.
On 2nd down, quick pass to Jonnu Smith, and he's got some room. Jonnu Smith with the first down to the 40-yard line, a gain of 12. 2nd and goal, Huntley throwing. That one's caught by Jonnu Smith. Touchdown! And on that touchdown, he ties the Miami Dolphins franchise record for most touchdowns in a season by a tight end. 7th for Jonnu Smith, the same as Keith Jackson and Anthony Fasano.
And he went to the right team in free agency. Jonnu Smith, the way he's played this year reminds me of the Tennessee Titans version of Jonnu Smith. A lot of catch and run plays, getting the ball in his hands quick.
In this empty set and this down.
On the 12th play of the drive, Huntley in rhythm, end zone. He's got Jonnu Smith for the touchdown.
You got no choice but to catch that one. I mean, he sticks it right in his gut. And again, you mentioned record-setting touchdown there.